And we're back with probably the most detailed micro airplane ever. Now, that Draco was iconic, and Mike Pate, and if I'm saying his name wrong, forgive me because I can barely say my own name correctly. But he designed that Draco, and it was iconic. Now we have the Scrappy. Guys, this thing is sweet. The detail is absolutely beautiful. The wingspan is pretty big for a small plane. You see that four-bladed prop on the front. It's definitely iconic. And it also has a ton of clearance too. I don't know if you could see that, but you're gonna be able to do some serious like bush flying without having to worry about this thing hitting the ground. That brings me to my next point, man. Look at the wheels. Look, working suspension, right? Just all in, man. This thing is definitely cool. Now, there was a lot of comments on Horizon's original video saying that the wing on this is exactly the same as the Micro Draco. Completely different wing, and I'm leaving some of that stuff on the screen here. It flies different. Now, I did fly this in my backyard, and that Micro Draco, it flew great. I actually really like that thing. I landed on my roof. When you throttled up, it had a tendency to want to pitch up no matter where you had the CG. And this one right here does not do that. So I'm excited to show you guys all of that stuff. And if you're wondering why I'm flying a plane this size at my local field and not in my backyard, because I want to show you its true performance. I want to do some like safe and AS3X demonstrations, because a lot of you guys that are fairly new to the hobby, this is definitely something that you're probably interested in, and I want to show you how well that safe works. So there will be probably a follow-up video of me doing some bush flying in my backyard, but for now, we're flying this thing at the field. Now, you can go 3 or 4S. First time I fly it today, I'm going to do 3S, which I actually didn't do yet, so I'm excited to see kind of how it flies. Then we'll switch over to 4S, wake it up, do some stall takeoffs off the table and whatever else. See how she goes. So let's get that battery in and get her in the air. Now we got 2 batteries, man. This is the 4S 300. This is the 3S. You can see the difference in size, and it's definitely going to be a difference in weight. So for the 3S 300, which I said I didn't fly it with this battery yet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it all the way forward, just because, you know, it's a little bit lighter than that 4S. So I want to make sure that our CG isn't too affected. So I think right there, plenty of room though. I'm curious if we could even go bigger than this. I'm curious if the 450s would fit in this thing. Now let's see, guys. Smart file, no programming. You don't have to worry about anything. Let's see. Safe is on my A switch. I have everything at 100. A little bit of expo the way I like it. I'm at 30% expo on the ailerons. I believe 25 on the elevator and 15 on the rudder. I like a lot of throw on the rudder for these smaller planes. Now what I'm going to do first flight, we are taking off with safe, guys. Let's go right into a safe demonstration. A lot of you guys, like I said, man, smaller planes, somewhat new, are gonna want to see how it flies with safe. Now, when you taxi these things, full elevator, as you see on the screen, keeps that tail planted. Does have a steerable tail wheel, and as you see, let's shut safe off for a second and just show you like how much control you have on the ground. Great ground control, especially for a smaller model. All right, safe's coming back on. Let's try to do somewhat of a scale takeoff here. A little bit of rudder and mains, and we're up. Now, guys, as you see on the screen, we are 50% throttle. Nice, easy flying airplane. Flies slow very well. Now, that was no flaps. This also has flaps. I know I didn't show you guys all of that stuff in the beginning, but I plan to, so just bear with me as I kind of show you all aspects of this airplane. Now, why do we like safe? Safe is self-leveling, guys. Now, for those of you that are new to RC and this is your first time watching this video, what happens with safe is it's a gyro, and it makes flying the airplane extremely easy for those of you that have never flown. Because if you've never flown an airplane, one of the biggest problems is losing orientation and it, you know, going inverted and diving to the ground and stuff like that. So what happens is, now watch this. I'm going full aileron. If I let go, it levels out. Full aileron, let go, levels out. Now, to keep it from pitching down like that, aileron with elevator, guys. Now I'm gonna go full in that full corner, a little more power. See it fighting? That was it fought a stall there. But that's safe, man. Safe makes flying RC airplanes for beginners extremely easy. And it's called, well, I call it progressive because we could shut it off. So safe is off now, it's my airplane. And no matter what you're doing, if you lose orientation, we're inverted, hit it, it levels itself out. Shut it off again, we're inverted, hit it, levels itself out. So you're gonna be able to learn with this. You could hit that switch at any time And it's just a great, you know, a great thing that the hobby did, you know. Technology is an amazing thing. Now I'm going to do a touch and go, no flaps. I still haven't gone full power. Guys, this thing is very enjoyable on 3S. Bear with me there. I lost it behind Cheyenne. I think Cheyenne lost that behind me. Now let's go full speed pass. Let's see how she does on 3S, because you're going to be really surprised with how powerful this thing is on 4S. So we're going powers on. Nice. I didn't realize safe was on that whole time. So safe is now off. My airplane. Roll rate on 3S. Not bad. Back loop on 3S. Sweet. Let's go half flap pass. Guys, flaps, Tundra tires, suspension. This is the ultimate micro right here. Super scale. Oh, you gotta throttle up. Those flaps are very effective. Coming around, full flaps. Wow. Now, as you see with the speed here, you know, definitely no problem flying this in my backyard. The only issue, really, honestly, is the weight. You know, it's 230 something grams. But once you put that battery in, you're over 250. So you will have to use remote ID. A little bit of a bummer, but. All right, let's bring her in, man. Let's go 4S. Let's see what this thing's about on 4S. You know what we'll do real quick before we go 4S? Let's go full flaps, full elevator. All right. So that was definitely stole with 3S. That was probably what, 3 feet we were in the air? Hey, let's get this 4S battery in here. Let's see what this bad boy does. All right, I'll rip that one out. Let's see. I was in the air for 3 minutes. That's my foot. 3 minutes, and we have 3.85. So on this little battery, probably only 4 minutes of flight time on a 3S 300. But guys, these are old, very old. I think these batteries are probably 3 years old. So I don't really take care of the smaller ones either, like storage volts and stuff. So this probably isn't the best demonstration. I think you should get 5 minutes of flight out of this. Let's get that 4S in. In the 4S, I moved the CG a little further back. I learned that me and Tom Hunt were out here messing with this and found that's where we like it, because when you're landing with flaps, you lose a bit of elevator, so it's nice to fly it with the CG a little further back. Why is this not going? Because I have it the wrong way. There we go. So we're gonna put that battery right there. That's where I like that. 3S 4000. Let's get this thing up. This flight I'm doing safe off for the entire flight. I'm gonna show you guys its full potential. Elevator, aileron, rudder. Yeah, buddy. Again, though, I'm gonna go scale takeoff. I like the scale takeoffs way better. Up on the mains, and we're lifting. And we're going vertical. Guys, 4S power. This thing just climbs. Plenty of rudder to rudder over. We're coming in. A little stick jam action. And we're bringing it to a knife edge. Let's see how my flying is first thing in the morning. It's an early one. You got plenty of rudder though. Hang on. There we go. And guys, I'm not full power at all. That's like 70% right there. See if we could do that a little lower. That was a little rough there. Inverted, no issue. Little bit of input from the stick there you need. Nothing drastic. Now the high wings, a little more tricky to knife edge. You have to add a little bit of elevator to keep it pushed out. But she flies flawlessly. I mean, look at this. This thing is extremely capable. Hover, let's try. You definitely have enough power. Yeah, if your skills are better than mine, you'll definitely hover this no problem. Full speed pass. Let's bring it in. Let's show you. Power is on. Gosh, she rips, man. For a little airplane like this, 4S is a blast. This might be the ultimate backyard flyer. We don't know. We have to show you guys how it flies. You need to tell me if this is the ultimate backyard flyer. And I want to hear from you. Do you like this better than the Micro Draco? I think it definitely looks cooler. It's pretty easy to see too. I mean, the red, nothing really is going to beat that red. You know, the red's going to always be the easiest to see, but full flaps. Slows down nice. Let's go full rudder. Counter with some aileron. Look at that. Guys, look at that. Oh my God, that's so like. Let's go the other way. Or let's not. Now what are we thinking? Some bush flying? Let's see how she taxis. Definitely not the most even runway. But she'll power through it. Here we're gonna go full elevator, full flaps, full throttle. Right up. Right up. Yeah, this thing's sweet. Let's take off the table. Maybe we should try to land on the table. Come on, let's walk back here. Bring those flaps out. What do we think? Wouldn't be me if I didn't break an airplane. Oh! I jinxed myself. All right. Yeah. Come on. I gotta land on this table. I'm determined. That's what Stoll's about, man. Some backyard flying. But just look how dialed in this thing is. It flies so well. I might not full stop, but I gotta touch it at least. I'm stalling. All right. Not gonna do that again. Definitely not doing that again. Mike Pate. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but man, you made an iconic aircraft. This thing looks amazing in the air. It flies so easy. Full power, half power, 20% power. Just a dialed in airplane. See if I can bring it in right in front of us. Oh, we dented the wing. I wonder if my field will cover that. Like, who puts a table in the middle of the runway? I gotta talk to the president. But guys, all kidding aside, this thing flies amazing. It's very smooth in the air, very crisp. It looks great. Like I said, man, you heard me say it while I was flying. I like this scheme or this whole design better than the Draco. I think it flies way better than the Draco. Not to say the Draco is a bad plane. This is just next level, right? It's the new and improved, this thing right here. So I think he knocked it out of the park. I think we're going to see a lot of people with these, whether you're flying at your local field or want to do some backyard bush flying. Definitely a great option, man. If you guys are interested, as always, the link is down below. I appreciate you guys watching. And stay tuned for the backyard bash because I'm not positive this is going to survive. But I am looking forward to it. I'll see you guys soon.